All right, the next lesson I want to give you is still on grip, but not a technical positional lesson, more of a feel-based lesson. In my experience in teaching golf for many, many years, I can tell you this subject does not get the attention it should. It's grip pressure. In other words, how hard should you hold the golf club? I'm telling you that there are amazing results for your entire golf swing, and those results eventually when you hold the club correctly. And as far as tension, are you holding it too hard? Well, that's going to restrict a bunch of things and make you jerky and choppy and hitty instead of having that fluid swing. Are you holding it too loose? Well, that can cause a lot of sloppiness and miss-hit shots in that way. So holding it with proper grip pressure literally affects almost every other part of your golf swing. So that's the subject we're going to work on. The lesson I'm going to give you today is going to obviously include all three of the golf out of control elements. So I'm going to explain physically and try to give you some imagery on what it's like to hold the club properly as far as to strengthen your grip. Mentally, we're going to tag in some kind of creative but old school thoughts, things that you think about that help to relax your hands but not make them too relaxed. Combine thought with action, and when they match up, oh my gosh, it helps so much. And on the spiritual side, I love this component on the spiritual side, though, you know, if you really take it to heart, this one can be a little convicting, not gonna lie. Has marvelous ramifications for your entire game, maybe even more than that. So hang on and let me teach you how to hold the club with absolute perfect grip pressure. You ready? Well, proper grip pressure. Man, proper grip pressure does not get its fair share of time on the driving range with us working on it. It's so pivotal in order to create a good golf swing. I know it's a tiny little subject and almost everybody's heard it. Like, hey, you're holding the club too tight, stop doing that. Here's the problem. We keep going back to it. You know what I mean? We might be able to hold it nice and relaxed for a few swings, but then it goes right back to it. Primarily, nobody trains grip pressure. You just don't think about it that much. You just try to relax. Well, just trying to relax all the time is not going to work. When you hit the golf course, you feel tense. You know what tension causes? Tight grips. Tight grips create bad shots, and then it makes it even tighter. So this process just keeps going on and on and on and on. I'm going to give you a concept that, yeah, it's a little weird, maybe a little out there, but it's based on the age-old concept of holding a bird in your hand. If you've never heard it, then gosh, you need to play more golf because it's been around forever. Proper grip pressure is really well demonstrated by the imagery of holding a live bird in your hand. My bird has a name. His name is Pete the parakeet. That came from the fact when I was a teenager, I had a little blue parakeet named Pete, and I loved him, and I'm about to hand him to you, and I really am going to ask you not to hurt him. Holding a live bird in your hand, understanding that, one, he could fly away, so don't hold it so loose that he might wriggle out of your hands and fly through the sky, and then I'm going to be really sad, and you're going to feel bad because you made me cry, grown man, weeping because you let my bird fly away. However, when you're holding your grip, if that really is Pete, I would also really encourage you not to injure him. Think about the last swing you took on a golf course. Pete's dead, isn't he? Selfish. Well, in teaching golf, I can tell you, I almost never deal with somebody holding the club too loose. Almost everybody is holding it too hard. So the thoughts of making sure that you don't injure Pete are probably going to be the dominant thoughts that you need to work on. Every once in a while, somebody holds it so loose that they're a little bit sloppy, but mainly I have people concentrating on loosening up their grip. It's athletically loose. If you're throwing a baseball, you don't squeeze it really hard because that causes tension through your whole body, and it becomes a jerky motion instead of the fluid, fast motion that you see in like Major League Baseball pitchers, for example. So Pete's going to be our tool, and we're going to go to work and get you a lot better at golf. So first of all, you hopefully already have an understanding and a feel. If not, pick up your club, grab it, swing it around a little bit, and get the feel of that nice loose grip. What we have to do from there, first of all, accomplish it in a practice swing. So what I want you to do is swing your club and make sure you're not injuring Pete in a practice swing, okay? If that's the case, then you can put a ball down again. hit a ball into a net, hit the little plastic wiffle ball so that Pete is less likely to get hurt. Right? That's our overwhelming point of this lesson, is not to hit it good, but to not injure Tim's pet bird, Pete. Okay? So a thing I do, one process that's going to help your thoughts. So matching thoughts, if you'll recall from the video, when our thoughts match up with what we want our bodies to do, it's easier for our body to do it, and that's the case. A thing to help direct our thoughts is, get ready, talk to Pete. While you're swinging the golf club, I want you to reassure Pete, don't worry, buddy, I'm not going to hurt you. Pete, don't worry, buddy, I got you. Pete, are you okay? Yeah, Pete's okay. So that was a good swing. Of course, you don't have to do it out loud, but in your head, if you're on the driving range and there's a bunch of people there, don't talk out loud. Or if you do talk out loud to yourself, don't tell them that I told you to, because, you know, nobody will come see me for lessons, because that's nuts. But if maybe you're in my bay, you can talk out loud, but if you're outside, please don't. But talking to myself while I swing this golf club, not talking to myself, talking to this little bird, makes it seem like he's in my hand. It gets closer to the ideal that if he were really in my hands, then I wouldn't hurt him. Because let me go there. Instead of being a hypocrite and pretending there's a bird in your hand so that you'll get what you want, I want this to be as legitimate. I want you fully committed to Pete, to the bird, not to your golf shot. What helps distract you away from self-thought all the time, I'm saying you, I'm definitely referring to me. What helps me not to dwell so much on myself, I call it golf prayer and meditation. I hope I'm going to get hit by lightning. I know it's not legitimate prayer and meditation. However, our words are insanely powerful. The Bible even says the power of life and death is in the tongue. What we talk about is what we think about. What we think about is what we tend to react to. It's really that simple. So, yeah, I know it's unusual and weird, but talk to him. Pete, don't worry. Pete, don't worry. Pete, are you okay? At the completed swing, one of the most important parts of this concept is what you saw me do there. Hey, Pete, are you okay? Right after I swing, I check in on Pete. Why? Because I'm a human being. You know what my first instincts do? So let me demonstrate. Okay, Pete, don't worry, buddy. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't worry, buddy. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't worry, buddy. Wow, that was a great shot. My first response, and watch yourself before you judge me, when you hit the golf ball, you'll either go, wow, that was good, or, oh man, I topped it, or I changed it, or I sliced it. Our response from the birth canal is always about self. It is. Talk to yourself. I mean, not talk to yourself. Talk to Pete, reassure him that he's going to be okay during your swing. And after you hit it, to avoid this response towards, did I hit it good or bad, check in with him. Pete, are you okay? If you can make your first response towards Pete, you are a long way, I mean miles, towards acquiring a nice relaxed grip all the time. Make it not about self, but about Pete. It's powerful, man. Third tool I'm going to give you is kind of a tactical tool. Tactile, not tactical, tactile, feel. That's feather. Yes, it is. I use these in golf lessons all the time for grip pressure, and they're great. Put a feather in your hand on the, so, you know, I just kind of put it on the grip just so I can feel a feather. Why? Well, because birds have feathers. Don't be technical. By feeling that feather against my fingers while I'm swinging the club, it once again reminds me and has my mind thinking, golly, what if that really was a bird? I mean, I've met a lot of people teaching golf and other things. I've actually lived a life. But can you imagine if I actually handed you my pet parakeet, that you would be selfish enough as you're swinging it around your body to squish him and go, I don't care, I just want to hit it good. I've never even met anybody who would do that. So the more real, the less hypocritical we as we make these attempts that we are, then the more apt it is for the grip pressure to be correct. Let me say it again. The less hypocritical we are doing this drill, the better your golf swing will be. The better your golf swing is, the better you hit golf shots. You know, I read in this book one time that it was better for me to love others more than I love myself. It's called the Bible. It's got a lot of really good advice in it. It's not so much about being a martyr. That's God's way of going, man, you really want things to go smooth. You really want to not be so worried about where you hit it. So use the feather, use the skill set of talking to yourself, golf, prayer, and meditation, and you can ingrain this skill set. Set aside time in your practice session, at least 10, if not 20 golf balls, not working on anything else. I'm working on grip pressure. Hit it, check with Pete, are you okay? So that you can reveal your hypocrisy. Watch how telling it is. Every single time I hit the golf shot, there's some immediate response to whether or not I hit it good. It takes a lot of training to become selfless. That I can guarantee you. Look, do this drill a lot and you will be amazed at how much better at golf you get. All right, I've really enjoyed it. Take this lesson to heart. You're about to get stupid better at golf. All right, go do some work and we'll move on to the next.